What's up guys, Chef Nikki here, back with another episode of Nikki Talks Food. Today we're making bone broth, aka traditional stock. So we're gonna make a beef bone broth that you can sip on or you can use in your recipes. You can freeze it nicely, take it out as you need it. We're gonna make a big batch of it so you'll have a lot for the future. So bone broth is kind of a catchy thing right now because it's full of collagen and people are really concerned with gut health. So according to some sources,
it says it reboots your gut health and sets you on a path to feeling better by supplying you with better eating habits and dense nutrition.
What's your source? I don't know, are these respected journals of medicine that you're getting this from?
No.
I don't know, whatever. Anyway, what we know is it's popular right now. People are drinking it because of the collagen that it contains, and it's actually really delicious, so we're gonna make it. Bone broth, it's hot right now. Okay, so I make my bone broth for at least 12 hours in my slow cooker. You should always follow your slow cooker safety directions if you're concerned, but as long as you're around, you should be okay. So what I have right here is perfectly cut up mirepoix. How pretty, right? So this is 50% onions, 25% celery, 25% carrots. That's our classic standard mirepoix. I also do have garlic, about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic, and a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna roast this in an oven, a 400-degree oven, for about 30 minutes because I like my stock to have a lot of caramelization and flavor. If we were just to put this and make our stock out of this, we wouldn't have any of what's called the Maillard reaction, which is caramelization. So if you want intense flavor, I really suggest roasting your veggies and your meat first. We also have beef short ribs. So these are beef ribs. I took off a lot of the excess meat. Some of it I'm gonna leave on because there is collagen attached to the bone. So we're gonna leave some of this on. And this I'm also gonna roast in the oven. So 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes. I want them nice and golden brown, and that's gonna give me a lot of flavor. So into the oven these go. See the only card trick I know? Oops, I just... Okay, so I need 21 cards. I'm gonna make 3 stacks. You need to pick one of these cards, okay? Keep it in your mind, don't tell me which one it is. When it shows up in the pile, just tell me which pile it's in, okay? Is that it? Really? Really? Was it really it? Really? Are you surprised?
Yeah.
No, really though. This is it? Are you surprised I can actually pull off a card trick? Okay, so we have roasted short ribs here, beef bones, and we have our roasted vegetables. And I'm gonna put the beef bones into the crock pot. These puppies are going in the slow cooker too. Okay, so now we have what appears to be 2 dirty pans. However, all that stuff that's stuck on the bottom, that's called fond, spelled right here. I'm gonna spell it right here. And all that is leftover caramelized bits of meat and vegetables that we really wanna loosen up from this pan, and we don't wanna lose this. We're gonna put that into our bone broth. So I'm gonna deglaze this with some water. So notice the water is turned a little bit brown, and that's us loosening up that caramelization. Now this stuff's ready to go into the slow cooker. All right, so the last couple things that go into this bone broth are some parsley, a small handful of peppercorns, black peppercorns, and some bay leaves. We're gonna put 5 bay leaves, but I like to crunch them up a little bit and then put them in. So now we're just gonna top it off with water all the way to the top. And we are going to start with cold water because cold water helps us extract as much gelatin and collagen out of the bones as possible. So once this comes to a boil, we're gonna reduce this to low and we're gonna cook this for at least 12 hours. So I'll see you guys in about 12 hours. Okay, so the stock has been cooking for about 18 hours. So I'm going to fish out the bones first, and because they're heavy, and we're gonna strain this stock. Now I'm gonna strain the stock, and then once it's strained, I'm gonna ice bath it. According to Florida Food Code, you have 2 hours to get your stock below 70 degrees. After that, you have an additional 4 hours to get your stock or anything that you're cooling below 41 degrees. When you have something that's called a temperature controlled food, or what's called TCS food, you have to cool it within a certain amount of time so that it doesn't grow bacteria. So that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna cool it over an ice bath. Okay, so it's really important to chill this down properly. We have our ice bath here. I'm gonna let this cool down. I want it to get below 70 degrees within the next 2 hours. And then once it's that cool, I'll put it into the refrigerator. Once it gets below 41 degrees, I'm gonna skim all the fat off the top. It'll pretty much be solid. That fat will get discarded, and then we're gonna see what we have. And this is our final step. So we have all the fat floated to the top, and I'm just gonna get rid of that. You can save the fat and use it to make popovers. You know, a classic Yorkshire pudding if you wanted to. But this is like straight up saturated fat, and so maybe, you know, you'd have no use for it. I don't really have a use for it in my home, so I'm gonna get rid of it. A little bit of Himalayan pink salt. And there it is. That's our sipping bone broth. So you can put it in, the only appropriate vessel is a jelly jar. So you can sip on this. You can heat it up in the microwave or heat it up in a pot. And you can just add a little bit of salt, your favorite kind of salt, to it, or just keep it sodium free. You can also use this as stock. It's really great if you freeze it in smaller containers. You can also freeze it in ice cube trays and then pop them out as you need them. The more that you reduce this, the thicker it's gonna get. So if you take this whole and you take 2 cups and you reduce it to 1 cup, it'll be very, very thick. So it's a nice thickening agent in sauce. It's called a Julienne. Nourishing. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my channel, please hit subscribe, hit the little bell. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. My mission is to teach anyone who will learn the fundamentals of culinary arts. I am a certified executive chef. I've also been teaching culinary arts as an instructor at an ACF accredited university for the past 6 years. I hold a bachelor's degree in food service management and culinary arts. I have over 20 years experience in the food industry. So let me know what you want to learn next.